Welcome to today's finance tutorial, where we dive deep into the concept of standard of deferred payment. The standard of deferred payment is one of the fundamental functions of money. It refers to the accepted method of settling a debt, a function critical to the credit system. Historically, commodities like gold or even livestock served as standards. Today, it's typically national currencies. For example, if you take out a loan today, it is expected to be repaid in the same currency over time. Let's consider a simple example. John borrows $1,000 from Mike at an interest rate of 5% per annum. In 1 year, John will have to repay $1,000 plus $50 of interest, totaling $1,050. But why is having a standard so important? Imagine a world without a universally accepted standard of deferred payment. Chaos would ensue in contracts and debt settlements. One common example is mortgage payments. These long-term loans, ranging from 15 to 30 years, depend heavily on a reliable standard of deferred payment, typically in national currency. Any instability can severely impact both the lender and borrower. Similarly, businesses rely on this standard when issuing bonds. A company may issue a bond today with a promise to pay the principal amount back in 10 years, along with periodic interest payments. The value of these future payments is critically dependent on the standard maintaining its value. This brings us to inflation, one of the most significant threats to this standard. Inflation erodes the purchasing power of money over time. If high inflation occurs, the money repaid in the future will have less value than it does today, impacting the lender more negatively. Here's a graph showing inflation rates over the last 10 years. As you can see, fluctuations can be significant, highlighting the critical need for a stable standard of deferred payment. Let's consider another scenario: hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is an extremely high and typically accelerating inflation. Zimbabwe experienced hyperinflation in the late 2000s, rendering their standard of deferred payment ineffective. To give you some perspective, during hyperinflation in Zimbabwe, prices doubled approximately every day. This scenario virtually destroys any economic planning involving a standard of deferred payment. Now, think about international trade and loans. When countries lend to each other or engage in trade, a common standard of deferred payment is usually necessary. For instance, the US dollar often serves as this standard in international contracts. Here's a bar chart showing the most commonly used currencies in global trade. Notice that the USD and Euro dominate, representing the critical role they play as standards of deferred payments in the global economy. Cryptocurrencies are emerging in this space. Bitcoin, for example, is being considered as a potential standard of deferred payment. However, its high volatility poses significant risks. Remember, stability and predictability are essential for a reliable standard of deferred payment. Without them, both lenders and borrowers face immense uncertainty. In conclusion, the standard of deferred payment is a cornerstone of modern economies, enabling long-term contracts and financial planning. Its stability hinges on a predictable value maintained over time. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more finance tutorials. See you next time.